Okay, we're going to go over candles breathing. I'm sitting on a block, which you can do if that feels good for your hips, or you can sit flat, or you can sit on a chair. So the way we're going to do this is get in a comfortable position. Notice that your pelvis is in alignment, so it's your head over your heart over your pelvis, like there's a string pulling up from the top of your head, keeping you nice and straight. And then put your hand on your belly so that you can feel when a breath comes in. The other hand you can put up here on your chest, you can put on your leg, whatever's the most comfortable for you. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in and pretend that there is a birthday cake in front of us. And that birthday cake has between 80 and 100 candles. So it's not your birthday cake, probably. But we're going to try to blow out all the candles on the cake in one blow. So we're going to have to regulate. So what that's going to look like is taking in a deep breath. Definitely would not have been 80 candles at that one. So this can take a little bit of practice. When you're doing it, I want you to visualize almost like a J shape scooping up with the air and coming up through your body and out into the candles. So I'm going to try it again with you. Okay, breathing in and blowing candles. As you're doing this, make sure that you continue to stay straight up and down, that you're not hunching or tipping back. And notice what you feel under your hand. If you feel your core activate, which is highly likely, and you're not going to breathe this way all day long. You're just going to practice it a couple of times to see what it feels like to engage your core and feel your pelvic floor firing. Okay, so one more time. And out. Keeping your face soft, your shoulders down, straight up and down alignment. Good, very good. Now we are going to just notice the pelvic floor. I have a Pilates ball that is underinflated. Actually, I have a variety of balls. I have a little 5-inch playground ball that is also fairly soft. It's not hard and inflated. And then I have a tennis ball. So what these balls are going to be used for is just to try to feel your pelvic floor. Notice if you can even map your brain to the pelvic floor. So I'm going to put this ball down, my little Pilates ball. And the place that we want the Pilates ball to land underneath you is between your vaginal opening and your anus. So that's what the perineum is. It's the part between, like behind your vagina and in front of your anus. That is where your pelvic floor is most readily accessible to you, so that you can feel it externally. So I am now sitting on my ball. And this time when we do candles breathing, I am going to see if I can feel my pelvic floor as it moves when I breathe. So you can do this hand holding on your belly again. And this time when you breathe out, notice if you feel your pelvic floor feel softer or fuller. And if you feel nothing, that's okay too. Most people are fairly disconnected from their own pelvic floors. So that's totally cool. One thing that you can do to maybe give yourself a little more access is tilt forward slightly so that you're not, so it's more of your perineum than your butt on the ball. So if you want to do that, you can. I know it goes contrary to what I just finished saying about head over heart, heart over pelvis, but right now we're going for pelvic floor feeling. So Go ahead and take a breath in. Notice what you're feeling on that ball, and then candles out. Feel free to tilt forward a little if you're not feeling anything. So the goal right now is noticing, not judging, just noticing. Can you feel anything shifting when you breathe in and breathe out? Do you notice less pressure, more pressure, softness on that ball against your perineal floor? If this ball is uncomfortable for you, you can try a different ball. Everybody's perineum is a little bit different. Sometimes a harder ball feels a little bit better because you've got more tactile sense and you can go, oh, okay, totally, I feel the ball there. It's between my sits bones in the right place, you know? Athletes tend to have a hypertonic pelvic floor, which means it's a whole lot tighter than some of our pelvic floors. Like that, the tennis ball absolutely lets me know where my sits bones are. I can feel the tennis ball right up between my sits bones, which means I know it's definitely on my perineum. Because of that, I definitely need to tip forward a little bit so that I can feel my perineum and it's not uncomfortable. You should not be uncomfortable when we're doing these things. I want you to notice, but I don't want you to hurt or feel uncomfortable. So pick which ball is comfortable for you and do that breathing and just notice what you notice when you do what you do. And then we're going to try a couple of things and come back again and try that later. So remember what that felt like for you, because right now what we're doing is getting to know our pelvic floor and map from your brain to the pelvic floor itself. So this is all like getting to know you kind of thing. Merry Mr. Rogers for us with our pelvic floor. So grab a yoga block if you don't have one. Definitely not mandatory, but it's just a little bit easier if this is new for you to not have to move quite as far. And you're going to put one foot out, and this is kind of like a gate pose if you do yoga, so that your perineum feels fairly open. So your legs are, is that 90 degrees? 90 degrees to each other. Excuse me. And all you're going to do is rock back and forth. So we're going to just move a little bit and notice where there's tightness. Pardon me. Feel the pelvic floor responding to your movement. You can move around a little bit. Just kind of get used to feeling the musculature around your pelvic floor, in your upper thighs. What do you feel? What's easy to move? What's not so easy to move? And then once you've done that, probably 5 or 6 times, turn your toes forward. And then I want you to just lean back. Let me turn to the side so you can see that. So you're going to lean back so that you're sitting on your foot almost. And then come on back up. So this leg is active. This is great for loading your pelvic floor. And I'm going to do this about 5 or 6 times as well. And then switch sides. So I'm going to leave you to that, to switch sides, so that we can just run through these together. And then you're going to lie on your side. Again, good to have the yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can grab a pillow or something, like a couch pillow. Just going to go between your knees. So lie on your side. Put the yoga block between your knees. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I'm bent. So my knees aren't up in front of me. They're not straight behind me. They're pulled up about 45 degrees. You guys are probably getting that I'm not really good with degrees, but I'm guessing that's about 45 degrees. And then this is like a little fulcrum point for us. So what we're going to do right now is practice internal rotation with our legs. So, or with my legs since I'm the one doing this. So what you're going to do is just lift up your heel. And this is isolated. This is just right here moving. This, if you need to lay down a little bit so that your body's not helping along here, all we're doing is lifting up the heel. This is all still. Only my leg is moving. And I want this to kind of originate from the hip, if possible. My heel's what's moving visibly from the outside, but this is where I'm getting the shift, is right here in my hip. So do that again about 6 times, and then you would switch and do the other side. If you get to doing this after a while and feel like that was really easy for you, you can put a band around your ankles and make that a little bit harder. And then the last thing we're going to do is like a little booty massage. So grab your tennis ball and you're going to put the tennis ball on the ground. And what we're going to do is like roll your butt and thigh on it. So do this to comfort, not to pain, okay? So you put the tennis ball down and you're going to tip back a little bit, lift your weight a tad, and roll side to side, up and down. My shirt's getting stuck. Let me move it out of the way. Okay. And just get some movement on your glutes. Those are some big, big muscles that can get very, very tight. For those of you who have a trauma history, you might want to pay attention to, like sometimes I notice myself laying in bed at night and I realize my butt's clenched. So I have to remind myself to relax it because your body is sometimes like in defensive mode. And you just got to remind yourself that you're in a safe space. So just an interesting thing to pay attention to in your own body. So again, this is not to pain, this is comfort. So just roll it around and give yourself a nice little massage and then switch and do the other side. Everything we do on one side, you do on the other side. Okay, so let's pretend I did that for a few minutes. Now I'm going to grab my ball again. And I'm going to sit on my ball comfortably, making sure that my perineum is on it, that I can feel it. And now I'm going to do candles again. So big thank you to Lindsay McCoy teaching me how to do candles breath. So breath in, notice again what you're feeling in your hand. If your core is starting to fire when we exhale, okay? So in. And now here's your big, huge celebration birthday cake that you're slowly blowing the candles out on. You got to go slow or you're going to have like not all your wishes, just so you know. As you're doing the candles, remind yourself to keep your shoulders down. I just noticed myself hunching up a little bit. So try to keep your shoulders relaxed and down and soft. Keep your face soft. All the energy is right here. And now notice if you notice anything different. Do you feel any more connected to that pelvic floor? Do you just notice anything different? There isn't actually a right or wrong answer here. It's what do I notice? And great appreciation for your body, for my body, and how it is protecting your organs, helping you function, keeping you safe. So that's just a very quick overview of some of the things that we are doing together in session 1 at the library for this pelvic floor wellness series. And I look forward to seeing you next week as we dive a little bit deeper into our pelvic floors.